what's going on, guys? It's TWT here, back with another reaction video. Today we're going to be reacting to Google finally getting what they deserve. The monopoly is almost over, guys. You know, Google has always been a love-hate relationship with Google, but I feel like they monopolized the entire industry. And it's time for us to fight back. OpenAI is fighting back. Google search, the traffic for Google search has went down a lot. I think they're fighting for their life. Their AI model is not doing as well. Gemini, who's using Gemini? Not me. So let's take a look at this video from our boy Fireship and see, and let's actually react to it. I don't know why it started so fast, but Fireship starts his videos very fast. They're very to the point. I love Fireship. Check him out if you haven't already. So yeah, let's react to this, guys.
Fight against the U.S. Department. Yesterday, big tech changed forever after Google lost the most important legal battle of its life, a fight against the U.S. Department of Justice that started back in 2020, claiming that Google violated U.S. antitrust law and cheated at monopoly. The government called Google a filthy monopolist who used a
filthy monopolist, guys. Crazy. And it's crazy that the state and the judge brought this upon Google. It wasn't like a class action lawsuit. The U.S. is usually all for capitalistic gains. We're a capitalistic company. We're a capitalistic society. But it's crazy that it got so far that a judge was like, yeah, no more Google. Let's continue.
Legal tactics to crush the competition and stifle innovation. Google's lawyers clapped back and said that was outrageous and salacious, but the judge agreed with the feds.
Guilty.
And just like Standard Oil and the American Tobacco Company, Google is now officially required to wear the illegal monopoly dunce cap. But everyone cheats at monopoly. Apple, Amazon, and Meta are also fighting active antitrust cases. In today's video, we'll find out what these cases are all about, why Google...
I didn't know that. I didn't know all these companies are fighting antitrust cases. I know Amazon for sure. They just wiped out the entire e-commerce industry. There's no way you can compete with them. Besides, if you're Temu, is the only way you can compete with Amazon if you're taking a loss on each order. Apple, I'm not so sure about Apple. They're better products. They haven't really monopolized much, in my opinion. I'm not an Apple guy. I'm more of a Samsung guy. Meta as well. They're freaking buying up Instagram, stealing Snapchat's features. Snapchat wrote out stories. Meta had it. Facebook and Instagram had it like a month or two later. It's insane.
Active antitrust cases. In today's video, we'll find out what these cases are all about, why Google lost its fight, but most importantly, what does this mean for the future of big tech, and how do I get rich off of it? It is August 6, 2024, and you're watching The Code Report. Things used to be a lot different back in the 90s. Horses were still the primary mode of transportation, hemp was legal, and Coca-Cola still had cocaine in it. But 1890 was also the year the Sherman Act was passed, a law at the time that was targeted at big oil, big tobacco, and big railroad to prevent anti-competitive activities that made it impossible.
The Sherman Act. Let's look up that. Sherman Act. The Sherman Act, Antitrust Act of 1890, the United States antitrust law which prescribes the rule of free competition amongst those engaged in commerce and consequently prohibits unfair monopolies. It was passed by Congress and is named for Senator John Sherman. Its principal author. I actually want to learn a little bit more about that. Let's see if we can quickly. I'm actually really into law sometimes, See if we can quickly scan this really quick, get some insights. I wonder what the cause of the Sherman Act was, Let me find it. What was the cause of the Sherman Act? It says here that the Sherman Act was primarily caused by concerns over the growing power and trust and monopolies in the 19th century. Basically, companies were growing bigger and doing untrustworthy. Let me slow down. Sorry, guys. Untrustworthy and monopolistic tactics that stifle growth. Probably. Well, the critics argued that these trusts were powerful enough to dictate prices and stifle competition. Exactly what Google's doing. Look at that. They have no way to fight that battle, huh? Let's continue with Fireship.
For competitors to enter the market. Google broke Section 2 of the Sherman Act, which has two provisions: the possession of monopoly power and willful acquisition or maintenance of that power that's not a consequence of a superior product. In other words, to break the law, you need to both dominate the market and do so in ways outside of building a better product. Google controls 88% of the domestic search market, and I think most people agree that Google has a superior product. I get way better results from it than Lycos or Excite, and its AI no longer recommends I jump off the Golden Gate Bridge when I'm feeling sad. But Google got into trouble with its exclusivity deals, like when it requires its search engine to be the default on Android devices, its deal with the Mozilla Firefox browser, and its insane deal with Apple where it pays them 36% of search revenue to the tune of $20 billion per year. Basically, the judge said these deals were anti-competitive, and now Google will not pass go and will not collect $200. Well, actually, we don't really know what the penalty is yet, and that's to be continued in a separate trial. I highly doubt it'll be like what JFK said right before he went to Dallas, to shatter Google into 1,000 pieces and scattered into the winds. It is possible Google could be broken up into multiple different entities, like maybe it has to divest Gmail and Android, but the tricky thing about Google is that its search business makes so much money, it's able to subsidize these free projects like Gmail on Android. If Gmail were on its own,
that is very true. Gmail and other products are free because of the search, revenue. But that's probably a tactic they're using to maintain their monopoly. Oh, we're offering these products for free. Don't say anything about our monopoly. You aren't paying for Gmail. You aren't paying for Android. I'm not paying for API usage on this app that we're building. Check out the video. That is true, but it's still breaking the act, the Trust Act as well. So
we'd probably have to pay $10 a month to use it. But if you talk to someone like Microsoft, who was accused of being a monopoly back in 2001, things might not be so bad. A more likely outcome is that Google faces some kind of fine and then contractual restrictions.
Speaking of Microsoft, why isn't Microsoft the one being they aren't they in charge of like 90% of computers? And with the freaking the meltdown that happened with all the system, all systems failing because of a bad code update, everything shut down. Why isn't Microsoft a part of this antitrust act? I don't know.
On these deals, and that could actually be a good thing for Google because then Apple can't rake in cash while doing absolutely nothing of value except maintain its own monopoly. Speaking of which, Apple is also being sued by the US Department of Justice for maintaining a monopoly. Many people will defend Apple's walled garden to their death, but the feds think that Apple is actually tricking you by using things like privacy as an elastic shield to justify abusive business practices, among many other things. Apple also got into trouble with
Man, what the heck is privacy as an elastic shield? I don't know. I mean, weird. I mean, it's just a metaphor. Yeah, basically they're saying that Apple's the most private and the most secure as a shield, but I know they charge a buttload for transactions on their app store for sure.
The EU and was required to open its payment service to competitors like Epic Games, and now Fortnite is finally coming back to the App Store. But Meta is also facing a lawsuit for monopolizing the social media space with anti-competitive acquisitions like Instagram and WhatsApp. Then Amazon is also fighting its own monopoly battle, where it's accused of taking advantage of its sellers with anti-discounting measures and contracts that favor its own products. Now,
yeah, for sure, Amazon is probably the worst place to sell your product. They'll literally let you sell it, go through the process of onboarding, sending them the product, and they'll literally copy your product and put it on their own website. It's their website for a discounted price. And what can you do about it? Insane.
Now, if any of this comes as a shock to you, it's time to wake up. You don't become a trillion-dollar tech company by not being evil. It's a brutal, cutthroat game.
In my opinion, capitalism is inherently evil. Very cutthroat practice, you know?
Tech company, you either go bankrupt as a hero or live long enough to become an illegal monopoly.
Well, I agree with that as well.
This has been the Code Report.
That's the conclusion of this video. Check out Fireship, guys. For sure, for sure. Let's check out some of these comments, you know? This is so true. You either feed into the evil ways to become a billion-dollar company or go bankrupt behind your morals. This is true as well. For a long time, the EU was the only country, you know, give me a second. I don't know why this is here. For a while, the EU is the only country that's been making headway in the tech space. You know, with I think it's GIPD. Let me see the correct name of that. I don't know what the correct acronym for it is. It is GDPR. You know, and they already enacted some AI regulations as well. Let's go here. DOJ. This guy must have 500 terabyte a folder of GIFs and memes. Maybe his editor does it at this point. Gotta love Fireship, man. Weird. You know, Google owns YouTube as well. They could be misinforming or providing false news on their homepage. Wow. I don't know. I have no idea what this word means. Let's find out together. I don't know how to pronounce that. Enshittification? That's not even a word. I was like, what is that? That's not a real... What? Yeah, I mean, their products are becoming shit. This is crazy. Let's see if we can find some Reddit posts on this. That's not for you guys. Checking out some ways to make shorts for my long form videos. See some Reddit reaction, guys. Gotta love Reddit. Nope, no comments. Check these out. I don't like how Reddit's comments are like this. I mean, I guess it kind of works on mobile, but it's really hard to read. Yeah, ironic. Well, I guess I should read the top comment, but it's talking about Firefox. Yeah, Google uses Firefox, pays Firefox to be their default search engine. Infinite appeals process. Yep. Did not think about that. Firefox probably lose a lot of revenue in that case. This is the Firefox subreddit. Alright, why is everybody talking about Firefox, man? Jesus, let me get out of this subreddit. Oh god, Linus Tech Tips. I don't know. I kind of like the recommendations. I don't know. They're saying these sites will have to be these companies will have to be spun off into their own site. But I'm not sure why Shorts would be spun off into its own site. That'd be stupid. They're talking about Firefox here too. Firefox makes 80% of its revenue from Google paying them. That's crazy. Oh, that's it, guys. I think that's the most reaction I'm gonna do for this. My aunt asked me. I was talking to my aunt yesterday about this, and she was like, "What does this mean for consumers?" I think that this means companies will have to innovate more. Like Google, they can't just buy out the competition like they have been and not innovate. Especially now with OpenAI and AI and stuff like that, Google has to innovate. They're losing so much money from search. Let me look up how much money they're losing. They're losing. They've lost. Let me not make a generalization. 178 million in one quarter. They lost. What kind of number is this? Is this a 1.46 billion? I think that's what they meant. They lost 1.468 billion last year alone, and now they're being anti-monopolized. So they have to innovate at this point. They might start charging for Gmail and stuff like that, but people are just going to switch to Proton Mail and other services that are free to have better privacy. They can't just sit at the top of the food chain and stalk us and watch everything that we do anymore. So, well, Google and Firefox rip. They're probably going to fight it with appeals like somebody said, but that's about it. Talk to you later, guys. TWT here. That's my insight. Comment below what you think. If you think Firefox is going to die, since 80% of their revenue is from Google. What do you think? What do you think Google's going to do? Let me know.
No way.